Yeah. Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing good. And we look forward to, you know, um, having an exciting and engaging conversation. Yeah. This is the fourth. This is the fourth TOD live streaming. Live streaming uh, from the North America. Yeah, thank you for asking though. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Yeah, So very excited to see everyone join, and we are very fortunate to have you join us for the very first live stream of today Open Diary. Wherever you may be watching from, you could just type it in the chat, um, whichever continent you're watching from. Maybe you're watching from North America, you're watching from Africa, you're watching from Australia, Asia, you know. Um, so, am I muted? Okay, thank you for letting me know. Not connected. Yeah, let me fix that quickly. Let's fix that. That's weird. You should be able to hear now. Can you hear us now? Okay. So let's do the brain teaser and just tell us what you see here from what I'm sharing. Okay. Okay, so let's go back. Let's troubleshoot that. Let's troubleshoot that. Still can hear me? Can you hear me now? Oh, you can hear me now. Okay, very nice. It's good to know that everyone can hear me now. Thank you so much again for this great opportunity to be here and speaking to everyone across the globe. Please try as much as possible to put in the chat wherever you might be joining us from. If you're joining any, continent, maybe in North America, you're joining from Asia, you're joining us from Australia, Central America, South America, just put it in the chat. We'd love to know where you're joining from. Okay. So I just want to give a little bit of context to the the open today open diary and what brought us to this point in time. We kind of realized that there are quite a number of issues, people are facing and talking about across the world, and we felt the need uh, to talk about these issues and engage people. And the way we have, work around it is to, first of all, give the ordinary people on the street the voice to be heard, to participate, and to, kind of find the need to engage in conversation. And we are so thankful that this opportunity came along the way this year to be able to start off today Open Diary. And there's a part that give ordinary people voice on the street, at the mall, at the beach, harbor, name it, park, and so many other places that we have met amazing people, and we had very great conversation with them. And that's also allowed us to engage different diverse set of people, across the globe. And this, I would say, started as a passion, or something that I just passionately wanted to be part of. So i I was opportunity to travel to Halifax a couple of months ago, and that allowed me to meet amazing people in Halifax. And I traveled to Halifax for a conference, and that conference is was organized by Institute of Corporate Directors, and they had, amazing people coming in and out of the conference for about 3 days, I believe. No, the conference was actually for 2 days. And the last day, you know, was an engagement with even the premier of Nova Scotia. And, in the course of the conference, I saw the opportunity to, move around the city and, visit places, talk to people, connect with them. And that allowed me to, ask them to speak into the camera, especially when I met a young man who was talking about the Canadian naval warship that was bettered at the harbor. It was really, really, really surprising to me how well kept that naval ship was. And I was really amazed. And, the guy was so generous to speak to the camera and, talk about so many things that the ship has brought to Canada. And that led me to Pier 21, and, did so many, uh, I had a very wonderful conversation with one of the historian, and it's, quite a number of other people there. At the same time, members of the ICD, that's Institute of Corporate Directors, also, kind of visited the Pier 21, and it was really, really lovely, having to, see all these great people there, and, have this conversation with them, so that's been one amazing, beautiful thing that I kind of enjoy, in Halifax, Nova Scotia, in Canada. And that was the beginning, And after that, there were a series of other notable events, including the World Cup. And, that kind of gave me the opportunity to covered that as well, talked to people across the globe. Many people came from different parts of the world, and it was so surprising to me how people, kind of fall in love with Canada. I met these two, um, this couple, and they were, talking about how beautiful Canada has, has been, how amazing and how surprising they were, having to come to Canada, and especially Toronto kind of surprised them the most. And they compared that to Europe, and and it's in particular Scotland, and they were like, "Oh wow, Toronto is just a place that they never would have thought that they would have met all those, things that were there." And it was really, really surprising to them. And they talk about that, and so many other people that I have opportunity of, meeting them. They all have amazing story to tell about Canada, and the Canada and what Canada has to offer the world, and not just only Canada, including America as well. So we have a teaser here. The whole essence of the teaser is for us to put one or two things in the chat. The teaser is just to stimulate our thoughts and put one or two things in the teaser and in the chat, whatever you can count, whatever you can see on the screen, just put it in just put it in the chat, and that kind of help us to continue to have this amazing conversation. So now today we are also going to be asking you what are your views, your opinion about some of these topics we'll be discussing today. We have a few topics to talk about today, and whatever is your view or your take on any of those topics, please feel free to put it in the chat. And now part of what we'll be talking about today. As we move into the topic, I also would like to quickly note that you can make comments in the chat. You can like this the live stream. You can put it on notification, because we're going to be having this going forward. The next live conversation we'll be having will be for tomorrow at exactly 9:30, and that is going to lead us again the into Monday. We're going to be having this regularly every week of the day, and to make it very consistent, we'll be having it on Monday, on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, to start with 4 days in a week. And we can always adjust. Can always add one or two days to the week, but let's start with that and take those baby steps. As we have all this conversation, we have people joining. Some are in Canada already. Some have these plans to visit Canada at some point in their lives. You're all welcome. Whether you're in Canada, you're outside of Canada, everyone is welcome to participate in today's open diary. So part of the topic we'll be talking about today, as we move to our conversation, is basically, first of all, the Canada-US relation. The Canada-US relation these days have been really, really hectic. But I also want to quickly note before we move into the topics, and just a few things. And I've mentioned it before, but for the benefit of those that are just joining, I quickly wanted to mention it again. And that has to do with, we are giving the opportunity for ordinary people across the globe to lend their own views and thoughts around certain topics in North America and beyond. And that starts with outdoor interviews, where we ask the public about certain topical issues. And those topical issues, we are bringing it into live discussion, so that those that I might not have an opportunity of meeting in person, they can also lend their views, their thoughts around this topic. And that's the whole essence of this live streaming. Then again, we will be launching the podcast of it in the coming weeks and the coming months, and that will make us to go deeper with experts and guests in those same topical issues. And the channel has really grown so fast, beyond what I personally would have imagined. Within 2 months, we are nearly to over 16,000 subscribers, and some of the videos have really gone well. Some of them are struggling, but those ones that have really gone well has like over 160 thousand views. Some of them have over 150,000 views. Some of them are just like 150, 500, 8,000. We have 85,000 views in some of the videos, including the long ones and the short ones. So, people are really, really engaging in all this conversation. So again, we are going to be having conversation around the Canada-US relations, and at the same time, the rising cost of living in Canada. If you're thinking of coming to Canada, you have to really factor some of those stuff in your budget, in your cost. And if you're also in Canada, you should also know that there are ways you can always navigate this. You're not alone. Everybody's in this. And at the same time, we want to support each other as much as we can. So the teaser is there for us to put in one or two things in chat and count the number of diaries that you may see on the decks, and just put it on the chart. Yeah, again, first major topical issue, which is not going to end here, is the Canada-US relation, and again, is something that everybody has been talking about, and some people are really, really worried about it. So my question with what do you think is happening now, right now? What do you think is happening right now? And what does it mean for ordinary people? So that's a food for thought for everyone to really think about. What does this tension, this trade war, and um, name calling, name changing, and all of that. What does it mean to ordinary people across the North America, even across the globe? Because whatever happens in the state, in the US, has tremendous effect across the world. The world looks to the state for leadership, for direction, and the market across the globe is also being moved by the US market. So if the US market is doing well, then for sure expect that other countries' markets will do well. If the US market is not doing well, for sure expect that other countries' markets will also be performing poorly. And that's why it has always been that the US market dictates the terms. The US market dictates everything that you can ever think of. So the US market, we all relied on it to perform really well. And if it's performing poorly, we should also expect that other markets will most likely do so. And that's why we are seeing the need to encourage every countries of the world to also strengthen their domestic economy, infrastructure, as it might be, and not necessarily have to rely solely or strongly on the United States. And the United States is also overwhelmed by a lot of pressure. There pressure on the state, and you can't rule that out, even when the US is saying they are stressed out when it comes to immigration, and close the border and suspend every immigration pathway to the state. And we don't want anybody anymore. And if you're in the state, then we want to find a way to let you go back to your country. And the same thing is feeding to other countries, just so you know. Same is applicable in Germany and in Europe generally. And you also find out that some European leaders are even against some of the leaders who are very soft on immigration, like the way we saw um, the other day, very much recently, the influx of people from Morocco, into Spain, and that was really, really, really overwhelming. So, and I mean, it it was so devastating that the flocking into the border, they flock into the border, and there are people who are really, really angry and say, how could that has happened in any way? It was really, really, really devastating. And I wish that some of the leaders, even in Africa and in Asia and other parts of the world, can really, sit up and do the needful, try as much as possible to strengthen the economy, look after the well-being of their people. Because again, you can't just begin to exploit your people and not be bothered. I mean, you should be as as a leader, and anyway, the tension within the states and the in Canada, and by extension even Europe, has really, really, really gotten so tense, and some would say so bad, that there has been name calling, there has been name changing, there has been these frictions between these two countries, and the state was more or less like of the view that only Canada retaliated against their tariff, and they said by extension China too retaliated, that only those two countries retaliated against them. And anytime tariff has been raised on goods, steel, aluminum, automobile, and any sector that might be targeted, don't retaliate. What you need to do is to have a conversation with them, and this has always been the friction, the thoughts around the fact that don't retaliate, just try as much as possible to have a conversation with the leadership. And some people will say that we don't just want to take that. You can't just, keep attacking our economy and expect that we are not going to do anything about it. That we're going to do something about it. And that's been the take that Canada has been taking, and it has always been the rhetoric of Hebel's hop, Hebel's up, and hit back when you hit, and that has been the response of Canada even from the last administration during Trudeau, um, fleeting back to uh, fleeting back to even the current government. That's always been the response so far. The leadership wants to keep eating back anytime the state is back on them for tariff. If you hit us with tariff, we are gonna hit back, as it were. And I personally, in my own opinion, I don't think it's helping anyone, either of the countries, because again, tariff is believed that most of these companies are not sucking it. They are not taking it into their own expenditures. They are passing it on in most cases to their consumers. And with the issue around the closure of the Straits of Hormuz, which has is adding pressure, to cost of living, and gas prices is just over the roof. and people are really, really struggling and asking questions that when are they going to have to be able to breed, have it, be able to breed as is the opportunity not to, the opportunity not to just to breed and not to be suffering, as a result of different tension, different issues, that they are facing already. And on top of that, the cost of living is going up higher and higher and higher. That's a major challenge for most of these most of the people that I've met on the street. They are very, very, very worried that they may not be able to continue to live and survive and pay their rent, pay their mortgage. For those that have one, they may not be able to pay their bills. Some are worried that they may lose their job because, again, a lot of employers are laying people off, not just only in Canada, across the globe, because again they are really, 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 people are really, really, really tight. Their budget is tight. The same goes for corporation. Corporation budgets are tight now, and one of those stakeholders that we have the first hit are the employees. Many a times they let people go, and when they let people go, it's loss of jobs. And when they lose their job, it affects families, it affects them individually, and that also fizzles down to, you know, um, homelessness, because people might not be able to pay their mortgage, they might not be able to pay their rent. It's really, really hard for people. And if you are here in Canada, you're here in the States, North America, anywhere you may be watching across the globe, um, everybody's facing the heat, right? Everybody's facing the heat. Cost of living is over the roof, and people are really, really worried. But my own encouragement to you is that don't be. Things will definitely, get better. Things will change over time. Let's hold on. Stick to what you have. If you have any way of contacting people to support you, you can quickly do that as much as you can. And just stay tight there, hold on, and believe that things will get better. And we hope so, that things get better. Uh, Not just only the tense relationship between the Canada and the US, we also hope that things get better in other part of the world. And for Canada-US relation, we're hoping that in the coming days or in the coming weeks, there will be either of the two, parties shifting ground and coming back to negotiation table and getting things back on track to find a way to resolve their differences and close the gaps that are already, being created, and made all the issues, problems that they may be facing, solve them, and get things back on track. And the whole essence of getting things back on track is because of the ordinary people on the street. People are really, really worried about their jobs. They're worried about their mortgage. They're worried about their bills being paid. They deserve to not be worried so much and really, really focus on other things, that they may want to do about their lives. People doesn't necessarily have to worry about feeding themselves, having clothes, shelter, having a roof over their heads. And these are the conversation that we'll be hearing on the street. And we're also bringing it, here on platforms like this, just to let it catch the attention of decision makers, people in the government. In maybe one way or the other, they may be responding to some of these issues that people might be facing, because all of these issues really, really needs attention. So again, the question is, What does it mean to the ordinary people? What do you think? Do you think what do you think is happening right now? And and what does it mean to for ordinary people? Um, I don't know. I mean, I have my own views around it, and I've shared some of those views now. And I believe that part of what it means to ordinary people is that some people will give up, some people will not give up, some people will still believe that there's still a light at the end of the tunnel, right? So, meaning that, for instance, if you're tightening uh, immigration, they believe that there's still opportunity for them. They will come in legally, they will apply from wherever they may be applying for, and they will get their visas and they will move into North America or Europe. That's a good way to look at it. And irrespective of everything being tight, they still believe that there's still a chance for them. And people that are even in this North America, Europe, and other developed countries like Australia, they are also being resilient. Like they are taking it day by day because they believe also that things will get better. Because we are not going to throw in the towel and not do anything about it. We are going to believe that things will get better, better, and better. And that's the way to go, and that's the way we see it, and that's the way we're going to attend to it, because we believe that things will get better, things will get better and better. So again, the other question I would like to ask is, do Canadians and Americans feel future ready? I mean, are they really ready for the future? That's a question, a very good question. I'm going to put it in the charts. Do you feel, do Canadians, Americans, Europeans, okay, let's do this one first. Do Canadians and Americans feel ready for the future? That's a good question. Well, um, the people seems to be ready, um, because again, on the channel we have over 270 videos now. Let me quickly check and be sure about that. And be very precise about the number of videos actually that we've uploaded. So 278 videos so far. And we should even be uploading some this morning. Maybe some of the team members should look into that. And yeah, we have had the opportunity of meeting great and amazing people who have been really, really strong and resilience in their journey. And if you ask me, Canada and the US seems to be, Canadians and Americans seems to be future ready. Yeah, yeah. Irrespective of whatever may be happening now, irrespective of the challenges, I believe they are. I believe people are, are ready for the future. I met the last video we recorded. I met these two young folks. They are in their university, they are in the college, and part of the conversation, you can check the channel, you'll see it on the channel. Part of the conversation we're having was that they are squeezed. The cost of living is high, and even though they are fortunate to have parents who is taking care of their bills and handling, it's kind of handed over everything for them, but they'll still get a job. They still, you know, work around things and get things done for themselves. Uh, these are young folks. India, India, 90s. The two of them are actually 90 years old. And their story was just really, really amazing because they are also very respectful of those that doesn't even have the opportunity to have parents handed over things to them. They were very, very, very respectful of them, and they said they really like the fact that they are not giving in on their studies, that they just want to keep going, doing what is needed, what is needful for them to do, and that's what they keep doing. And I personally, I kind of respect them as well because it shows that people are not gonna be giving in. People are not gonna be tired of fighting. They just have to keep fighting and keep believing that things will get better for them. You know, and if you look at other continents like Africa or Asia, people are struggling there too. Some students cannot go to university, they can't go to school, they don't have means of living in any way. I remember living in Africa. It was really tough. Living in Nigeria in particular, it was a tug of war. Growing up, um, schooling, I didn't have things handed over to me. My parents were struggling as well. My parents couldn't even get by without borrowing. They have to borrow money, get loans there and there, and also struggle to pay out back some of these loans. And I do understand that that's the story of many people in Africa. From the age of, I- as long as I can remember, maybe nine, thereabouts. I even posted some of these things on my LinkedIn. I've started working, trying to support myself, trying to support my family, and I've done quite a lot of, you know, uh, dirty. It's not dirty job for me because some people might say it's a dirty job. I mean, there's dignity in labor, and I've done coupling job, work with at the market where you help people to carry their goods. I've worked, in places where we have to construct building like construction sites, get things done. And when I was doing all of this work, I was also going to school. In the midst of that, it was really, really, really hard, growing up. And many people will tell you the same story. If you talk to people in India, Bangladesh, they will tell you the same story. We see this every day on TV, we see it every day on internet where people are really, really struggling. And when people are struggling, my own encouragement has always been don't give in, keep fighting because people have gone through the same thing and they've come out strong. And some of the people in this continent, sometimes they feel that people are not really struggling in Canada or people are not struggling in America. You'll be wrong. You'll be really, really wrong because when you come to places like this, you will see that people are struggling as well. Yeah, I've seen people really, really struggle. See people um, homeless. You see people fighting, for their lives. Some people uh, they can't take care of their bills, they can't take care of their family, they can't take care of themselves. Uh, People struggle here as well, but the level of struggles or troubles might be different, right? Or it might have different side to it. But to think that people are just having it as a bed of rosy here, and it's not the case, man. It's not. And if you have the opportunity of coming here, just do your homework, plan properly, have a conversation with your God if you have one, to direct you, to lead you. Have conversation with your family, especially your wife or your husband, if you have to come as a couple. And the sky's the limit. There's so many other opportunities here that you can always tap into, because yeah, opportunities are here as well, quite a number of opportunities. But again, know that the relationship between Canada and US now is not the best. Is bad at the moment, but it doesn't mean that it's going to remain that way. No, I'm very optimistic that things will get better. I'm very optimistic that as time goes by, this leaders will see the need to reconcile and get back to the table and get things done for their people. Then the other, thing we would like to talk about today is basically how, the okay, before then, do you agree with me with some of the things I've said so far? As perhaps that's the question I'm posting on in the chat. Do you agree with some of the things I've said so far? Do you agree with me so far? And what are your thoughts? Just want to know your thoughts. Let me know. Let me know what you think. The things will definitely get better. And again, I would like that you put in the chat how many diaries you've seen on the decks. So I will leave some minute to for people to respond and tell me what they think. What do you think? Do you agree with me so far? And what are your thoughts? Let me know. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. I am looking forward to. I'm looking really forward to reading your chat. Let me see. Okay, is there anything on the chat yet? Nothing yet. Okay. Yeah, we can move on. Hopefully, people will be able to put one or two things in the chat. Let's move on from to the other topic now. So the other topic, obviously, feeds back to uh, rising cost of living. Things are really expensive here. Oh yeah, things are expensive, and they are not like really expensive when we well things are the prices were high when they were high a little bit when we came, but now it's like over the roof. Should you have to buy a loaf of bread, is over the roof. You want to buy egg, like basic things. You want to put gas in your car. You want to rent a house or an apartment. You want to buy a mortgage. It's really really high. Cost of living is really high. In fact, most people are not even getting mortgage now. They're not getting mortgage. They're not, because people don't want to they don't want to embark on a long-term project where they're not sure of when things are going to get better, like, and if they're going to still be able to keep their job. There's uncertainty and everywhere, and if there's uncertainty everywhere, people will be very hesitant and reluctant to to you know, again, buy a house. They don't want to do that, and I won't blame people if they don't do that because, again, people just want to be sure of the decision that they are making. They want to be sure of the certain decision that they are making. So you won't blame people if they are not buying a house or they're not getting a mortgage now. You don't want to blame them in any way. So yeah, I mean, with the things becoming so expensive, people find it hard to continue to people find it hard to continue to live the way they've always lived before. And for most Canadians, part of what allow people to live is that they they are always free. Canadians are we are always free to buy whatever you want to buy. You want to go on the vacation, you don't have to ask anybody about it. Just go and back on your vacation. But a lot of people scale back on vacation this time around because, again, flights, tickets, hotel, um, other bills around it are really, really expensive. They are really, really expensive. And families now are seeing the need to take a step back and say, hold on, do we have to really go? Do we really have to travel? Can't we just save this money, and put it in something else? And the one other thing that is really affecting cost of living now is, unfortunately, we're in a credit economy, and because we're in a credit economy, people have different line of credits, and they keep borrowing. And the more people borrow and borrow, the more indebted they are. They are very, very, people are soaked in debt. When I say people are soaked in debt, people are struggling. People are really struggling with debt now, and they don't even know how to get out of it. Like, a lot of people don't know how to get out of debt, and that's a problem. It's a huge problem for them because, again, they are struggling. And here it's very easy for you to get a credit card. People would just get one credit card, and when you get a credit card, they use it. They use it for whatever they want to use it for. They use it for buying of grocery. Again, don't forget that grocery are expensive now. To buy food, to cater for yourself, to cater for your family, they are expensive. And these are basic needs that people has to buy. People has to buy food. People has to live. People has to, you know, they just have to. They just have to live. And if they are struggling to put food on their table, then it's a challenge. It's a real challenge. So I wish that things get better for everybody. And I just hope that we get to a point where we are all happy that we are taking a step by the day and getting things done. So that's the second topic we are exploring today. And I just needed to quickly talk about the last topic for today. And before we get to the last topic, I want to say that there are facilities that you can, resources and that are out there for you to take advantage of if you are struggling in terms of cost of living. In Canada, you can always, and the same in America, You can always apply for government benefits. Government can support you, support your family until you're able to get your feet on the ground. Uh, Government at the federal level and at the state level or provincial level has different programs that you can always apply to them, and they will support you if you are out of job, if you don't have a way of feeding yourself and your family. There's even in Ontario, there's what we call Ontario Works. You can always apply. And if for whatever reason you are a special person, you need additional support, women can support you with disability benefits. So there are a lot of resources that you can tap into if you are going through stuff. And at the same time, until when you get your feet on the ground, you can always at least until that time you have all the support you need. And at the same time, if you're on a job now and maybe you lose your job, there's an employment insurance that are there to also support you until you get back to the earning position that you've always been on. All the support are there, there and there for you to tap into. And you just have to believe that there's no giving in. There's no giving in. There's no giving in. We're not giving up on ourselves in any way. So before we talk about the last topic, I just want to put something in the chat and see if we're able to get any response to that. And part of what I want to put in the chat is this: are we actually better prepared for the future than we were 5 years ago? So this got across just every of the topics. Are we better off in any way? Um, are we actually better prepared for the future? You know, are we actually better prepared for the future than we were 5 years ago? That question is one thing I keep asking myself, even when I was in Africa before I came to Canada. Uh, yeah, and that is, am I prepared? How prepared I am for the next 5 years of my life? That's been the question I asked myself in college, till I enter from high school, actually, even till I enter college, university, and even came to Canada, because it's kind of helped guide my thought process and my plans as well. When I know that something needs to be fixed, I try as much as possible to quickly fix it as much as I can, because I know that the next 5 years, when sometimes I even write a letter to myself. In fact, in many occasions, I write a letter to myself in 5 years' time. I say, Jeff, uh, Olufemi, 5 years' time. By the time you are reading this letter, I hope that you're married. I remember that particular one that I read 5 years after, because again, I was a single guy. I wasn't worried. I was just focused on my work, my business, and stuff like that. And at the time in Africa, I said, "Dear 5 years old, and for me, I hope by the time you're reading this, you're married." And I was happy that 5 years after, you know, that actually came to pass. Some people can write the letters themselves and say, "Dear," you know, whatever, slotting your name there and say, "I hope you are engaged. I hope you've left your country. I hope you're in a better spot. I hope you're healthy. I hope you are, you're rich, you're wealthy, because we all need the money, right? I hope you're doing well. You know, I hope you're smiling." Because we can never miss out when we smile, when we are in good health. When we're able to support ourselves, support our family, we can never miss out. There's joy that comes with it. There's a joy that comes with having to see yourself, improve, get better, being in good health, be in good shape, you know, well prepared for the future. And part of what we need to do, if we're talking about, let's say, being healthy, you have to eat good food, you have to exercise, you have to do basic things that will allow your body to be in that good shape in 5 years, right? And you have to also have this mindset that things will get better and better because you're not giving in. You are basically going to believe that things will get better. Um, Thank you. There's a chat that says a lot of people sure need to wake up. Too many events are happening all at the same time, and people are obviously facing tear or o- oblivious. Okay, oblivious actually face pink tears. Thank you. I mean, it's true because a lot of people sure need to wake up. There are too many things happening around us. Like there are so many noises there and there, and if care is not taken, you can lose sight of the future. You can lose sight of 5 years from now, and that's a problem. We have to like disengage a little bit from happening there and there, event there and there. Their noise. Like I was listening to Kevin O'Leary and was saying that one of the employer that he worked for at the time, who happens to be Elon Musk, obviously, he was saying on the diary of of his CEO, on which I kind of love that show anyway. Very lovely guy, Steve. And he was mentioning that he has the opportunity of separating the noise from signal. And that's one of the things I would encourage everyone to do for the next for at least at least for the next 5 years. 5 years. Learn learn to learn to separate noise, signal from noise, signals from noise. Yeah, you have to learn that. We have to. It's hard sometimes to do that, but the way to go about it is this: separating noise from signal means that every day or every week, as you go into the week, one of the major things you can do is to say to do list, three things I'm going to do this week, and that has to get done. So those three things are the signal. Every other thing that comes aside those three things are the noise. So you want to ignore the noise and focus on the signal. So the signal is what needs to be done. The signal is what you need to focus on for that week, and that has to be done. So every other thing that comes in aside from those three things, they are noise. Okay, and that is something that we all have to pay attention to. So it's 1 hour already. I'm gonna give a break. I'm gonna step out a little bit, take water, and hope that in the next 5-10 minutes, all that we'll be able to take some of those questions, the brain teaser, and fill in those answers. How many diaries do you see on the deck? So please, thank you. Hey guys, so oh, thank you, thank you for responding. Thank you. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, be right back. Okay, guys, how was the break? Yeah, I believe it went well. Thank you for hanging in there. We're going to move to the next topic. The next topic is a world topical issue, and everyone is really worried about it, and that has to do with the Nepal flash flood. It's really really devastating. I must say, like people are worried. I know that as of this morning, there are over 540 people uh, who are dead now, breathe on Nepal, and as of yesterday, it was reported that over 30 Canadians, uh, over 30 Canadians are also involved tragic in this tragedy, and it's for the past few days now. It has been really really hard for the people in Nepal, and the preliminary assessment indicate that there's an ice rock avalanche or small it's like this landslide which trigger and the debris to flow and sudden flooding, gush out from the mountain, from the rock. And the event was not simply a conventional kind of a rain flood of a thing. Um, it's really, really bad. The police, as I mentioned, are reporting that over 540 people now this morning are involved. And then there were other reports that put a combined, you know, number of people that are missing to be over 1,000 people now. It's really devastating. Some people cannot even reach their villages. They can drive on the road. They can use their bridge. Oh, they can't use their telecommunication. There's no power. There's no water. All infrastructure are broken down already. They're broken down, and it's really sad. It's really sad. Um, there's also an ongoing risk assessment. Authorities are monitoring the debris, um, the about on the lake, the river, because again, it's still not safe out there for the people in Nepal. And why it matters is because, as a topic for us, is because This disaster kind of highlights the growing vulnerability around this, issue on landslides, extreme flooding, and even climate change in some ways. With scientists also examine how warning condition might be increasing the risk for these people. I would say that Nepal is facing major disaster in which this ice rock collapse appear to have unleashed a destructive debris flow, and this flash flood, causing hundreds of deaths, widespread infrastructure destruction, and a continuous search and rescue mission, emergency, and this figures they keep changing every time because if you go, even if you decide to check some major news outline there, takes CNN, CBC, they are all tracking, even BBC, they are all tracking the event as it unfold. NBC is just doing the same thing. It's really, really hard at this time. Our prayers, our thoughts are with these people, are with their families, are with their friends, are with their neighbors, are with the community. I mean, I just even Google now. The death toll is now 597 according to NBC News. This is really bad. I mean, real time. I'm on online now. I'm watching the real, like live coverage, live event as it's happening now, just like we're all live now. Of which NBC is also reporting it like live for everyone that may want to see. I mentioned like the over 549 people was just 30 minutes ago. Now it's just added a couple of other number of people that are dead. It's a major disaster. It's devastating. I can imagine what even the tourists, the foreign tourists who were also affected, what their family may be going through now. It's really, really sad. And then thankfully, we have other countries that are coming to help. China is coming to help Nepal. There are some other rescue operation that being carried out now just to help people in Nepal. And the authorities said 5 people were dead and 558 others were missing. And that's a couple of minutes ago. And the number of foreigners now believed to be, for the tourists, I believe to be 260 foreigners, including, like I mentioned, 30 Canadians. The State Department says 90 Americans are unaccounted for in Nepal and China. And while three have been, rescued in Nepal, it was not, they were not aware of, you know, they are still not aware of the number of people that are really to be counted for. Because again, this flash flood is so devastating that you can't really get the numbers accurately yet. The numbers keep changing, keep rising. It's really, really bad. It's really, really bad. The State Department US urge all the citizens who are currently there or recently traveling through the region area to get in touch with their embassies. And there was even an email that they said they should get in touch with. They put it online there. And that's a uh, KATHMANDUACS at state.gov. I'm going to say it again. KATHMANDUACS. The ACS is in cap at state.gov. So you get in touch with the US government as you are a US citizen. Get in touch with your full name. Tell them in the email your full name, your current location, your status, and the name of TOR company that you are using. So that's one huge information that is going live now. So you need to get in touch, and you can also call if you are able to find a phone. There's a toll-free number that you can call now, and that is 1-888-407-4747. I'm going to repeat the number again: 1-888-407-4747. So this is the number you can call. It's toll free from the United States and Canada. Or you can also call this number 1-202-501-444. I'm going to repeat the number again: 1-202-501-444 for other locations. So the first number is if you are from the US and Canada. And if you are from the other location, that's the number you should call. So those seeking information about families, members in China, and sorry about that, that's my son. Peter, go meet mommy, please. So the spokesman, so this is the spokesman, you know, so sorry, I'll be right back, please. Let me quickly attend to. Okay. Yeah, so sorry about that. It's one of those things that when you're a parent, it's one of those things that happens. Thank you for holding back. Yeah, I was staying on this Nepal stuff. Um, so I was mentioning earlier on that these are numbers you should call. So if you, the spokesperson said relatives seeking information about family members in Nepal should call 1-888-407-4747. It is toll free if you're there in the US or Canada. And if they are in other location, they should call 1-202-501-444 when they are from other locations. So, I mean, these are the numbers to call. Are those seeking information about families, members in China should call 010-8531-4000. That's 4000. 010-8531-4000. So if you're from China and you want to seek information about family members there, you call the number, or you call 011-8610-8531-4000. 011-8610-8531-4000 if you're from United States and you are seeking information about family members who are in China. So these are the numbers um, you should call. I believe if you go on the live updates from of CNN, NBC. You will see some of this latest information that you need to that you'll see some of these numbers there as well, and you see the latest information there. So residents in Nepal are really, really struggling now. It's also an opportunity for uh, countries across the globe to really support Nepal now at this their uh, time of struggles. And I know that helps is on the way for the people in Nepal. So rescuers are working across the globe, across the clock, through the mud and the debris, all through even this morning, even as we speak now, in areas that are really, really devastated by this flash flood. In I will try to pronounce this name, Himalay Himalayan border. That Himalayan border is between Nepal and China, and then there has been continuous search for hundreds of people still missing as the delta rise and keep rising. Authorities are also warning that a newly formed and overflowing lake could also trigger further flooding. So if you're in that area or you have someone that is in that area, please take precaution, try to be safe as much as you can, and yourself, get in touch with authorities, people that can help you. And I believe even Canada mentioned that people should contact their agency, embassy, and get in touch with the embassy. So Nepal Authority Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Authority say the delta has also risen, which I've mentioned earlier on, and the number of missing people remain really, really high, and that is uh, there was just a range of within 1,000 and 3,700 people who are still missing in Nepal. And this is really, really hard for people, going through this mod issues is really, really hard. And like I mentioned earlier, I said earlier on, our thoughts and prayers are with you. You're not alone. We will keep praying for you. We keep hoping that you get all the help you need. And we know that in this time, things are hard, and you'll definitely get through. You will definitely be protected, and just be safe. Just be safe out there. Believe that you will go through this. You will come out strong. You will receive all the help that you need, as the case may be. And the United States is also delivering quite a number of supply, to the region. For past about 2 hours ago, there was a post from the U.S. Embassy that there are some supplies that are requested by the government of Nepal, and they are working with the authorities to ensure that those assistance reach the people who need them the most. And today, the U.S. government has also responded and making sure that all this supply reach the people that need it the most. And it's really gladly to see that the government is doing something about this Nepal, and US is stepping in, helping out, and the Nepal police and all the authorities are doing what they can, to help people, to just make people to feel helped, support, as the case may be. And yeah, that will keep rising. I hope that by tomorrow, by the time we're meeting tomorrow, we'll see each other tomorrow. We hope that this death toll will not have just climbed to a point that we all break down, and we just hope that things get better. Um, you know, it's really hard um, for people going through this. It's really, really hard. Saddening. I know there's no amount of words I personally can say that will change anything, but um, yeah, but it's hard. Um, some people lose their children, their daughter, their sons. Some they have them missing because that's the problem again when you can't find the body of your loved ones, and it's a challenge, to it's a challenge to really, 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 really take it. Sometimes you want to even see the body and be sure what has happened than for the your loved ones to be missing. The missing parts is even harder, for family because they don't have answers to what has happened, And the Red Cross, at least, it's also responding. Just now, the Secretary General of the Nepal Red Cross Society just mentioned that they are focusing on providing shelter items and personal hygiene kits, food, emergency form of aid uh, for people, and body bags for affected communities. So the Red Cross workers are stepping in, to help people, and there has been a lot of assessments within this period, and 90,000 people have been affected so far in this disaster. That's nearly 100,000 people, according to the authorities. And then it stressed people out, it's affected communities. I'm a community man. I understand when issues, disasters like this happen in the community, everybody's affected. The community will never remain the same. But there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. There's always hope for the community to bounce back and rebuild, because that's the beauty of some of this disaster. When it happened, it's also an opportunity for the community to rebuild, because again you believe that that's not the end of the story. Things will get better. Things we can review. We're resilient. We're not just going to throw in the towel. We're going to fight. We're going to fight. We're going to fight. And that's our song. We're not going to give in any way. And I'm happy. I'm really, really happy that the government of Nepal, all the authorities, the US, and China, and every other countries of the world are supporting and rescuing, and providing the needful for these people to have. Yeah, just happy that things are getting better. Things are taking shape. It's really exciting to see that. Very, very, very exciting to note. So for the Nepal one is a story, is a word topic that we're covering today, and we will most likely definitely cover it tomorrow as well, to talk about the things that has happened, give us updates on the flash flood, and we hope that we will have better report tomorrow. We hope that things will get better tomorrow. And by the time we're coming back tomorrow, this Nepal story will be something that at least we have more answers than questions, because people need answers. People want to know, and rightfully so they do. need to know what is going on. They need to have answers to many of their questions, many of their queries. Somebody has to answer them. Somebody has to, give them the answers that they need. And thankfully, these answers are provided as needed. They may not be timely the way people would have wanted, but I know that things will be better. Um, I mean, some people had what's the cause of this landslide. Some initial reports of an earthquake on the Nepal Nepal border led many to believe that a tremor had caused a landslide, which in turn caused the devastating flood early 2 days ago. You know, and the US also later confirmed that the disaster was caused by a glacier collapse. And when the glacier or a part of a glacier is disintegrates, that causes it as well. So the impact of the collapse glaciers hitting the bottom rock of a valley was so powerful that it registered a magnitude of 5.2 uh, 5.2 magnitude according to the agency. So this is a huge impact, a huge issue like catastrophe impact downstream. And I watched it on the video and I saw the way, oh gosh, it's just so devastating. The flash flood was so powerful and the breeze travels some 62 miles. That was 100 kilometers downstream, you know, uh, and they went through the rivers, and swept through the town, swept through the town with force. The villagers, the locals, the tourists, and I believe some pilgrims were there as well in Nepal at the time. That footage is huge. You see a wall of mud up and rock sweeping away people, sweeping away buildings, road vehicles, and people were fleeing for their lives. So many videos out there, and I can't just imagine what was going on in the mind of the people at that time. It's really, really hard. It's really, really hard, you know, and I understand that there are quite a number of CCTV that capture this moment and just kind of give insight to what has happened. But this is hard to watch. Some of those videos are really hard to watch. And again, people are missing, people are dead. We hope that they find the missing, and we hope that people that lost loved ones are consoled in many ways. And we also hope that people that have lost properties and lost one or two things will be very ready to rebuild. I'm not giving. And again, all those tourists, if you're in Nepal, or you have somebody who, well, if you're in Nepal, get in touch with your embassy. And if you're in the US, if you're in Canada, and you want to contact your loved ones, you want answers, there are numbers you can call that will give you some of the answers that you need or you're seeking for. And I'm going to mention those numbers again. So there's a spokesperson from the the State Department of the which has urged U.S. citizens to contact these numbers. If you have, if your relatives, you're a relative, you're in US, you want some information about family members in Nepal, you call this number 1-888-407-4747. It's toll free from the United States and Canada inclusive. Or if you're outside of, I'm going to call the number again, 1-888-407-4747. Toll free from US and Canada if you want to seek information about your family members in Nepal. Or you can call 1202-501-4444 from other locations. So if you're not in US or Canada, the other toll free is 1202-501-4444. Call those numbers if you are outside of the US or Canada. And if you're US or Canada, the first one is to call 1-888-407-4747. And you can also send an email if you want. Citizens in the flood hit area should send an email to kathmanduacs@state.gov with your full name, your current location, your status, and the name of the tour company that you are in. So if you're a tourist, as an American or a Canadian, you travel to Nepal, send an email to kathmanduacs@state.org with your full name, the current location, your status, and the name of the tour company that you are on. Very important. Please get in touch. And Canadian government also encourage citizens to get in touch with the embassy as soon as they can to you know let them know their status, whatever challenges they may be facing now. I believe the government will be very much ready to support. Government will be much ready to assist people as much as they can. So yeah, that is the final topic for today. So yeah, I would like to put a question on the chat. What's one thing you think we got right today? Maybe two questions actually. What's the one thing that you feel we got right today? Um, the one thing we got right today. And maybe I'm gonna put that right away in the chat. What's the one thing you think we got right today? Yeah. So put that in the chat if you can. Oh, thank you. I'm still seeing that. Oh, we got the topics right. Oh, thank you. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. Oh, the Nepal story. Wow. Yeah, me too. We are moved. I'm touched. I'm touched. I'm touched. And saddened. It's pretty saddened. It's pretty saddened, and I believe that things will get better. So I'm touched and saddened. I believe uh, those affected. I believe the victims will find the help they need. They all need now. Our, our thoughts and prayers are, are with the Nepal victims and their families. Flash flood victims and their families. Yeah, so what can we say? It's really hard at this time to take in. Is a lot. It's a lot to take in, you know, at this time. But we hope that things get better. We hope that they find the help they need, and we believe that things will improve over time for those people, and yeah, we just hope and we keep hoping, for them, and that things get better and better and better and better for those people, so yeah. So to the question, I put a question there. Yeah, thank you for letting us know that we got the topics right, and we we also got the story right as well. And the other question I want to say, and I want think we should be talking about more. One thing was was the one thing we should be talking about more. Is there any one thing? Is there any one thing we should be talking about more? Is there any one thing we should be talking about more? Um, yeah, so let us know if there's any one thing we should be talking about more. Just keep us updated on that one thing we should be talking about more. You can send a message now if you want. We're almost going to wrap up now and close in the next few minutes. Let us know that one thing you would like us to talk about more. And if there are any topics, if there are any areas that you feel that we should cover, let us know. Let us know those areas, and we'll be happy to cover those areas or those topics, as it were. Just keep us updated, keep us informed, keep us engage. And yeah, so let us know if there are any topical issues that you feel that we should be covering, and we'll be very happy to continue to cover those topics. Yeah. So I would like to say that thank you so much for joining this conversation. It means a lot. I mean, the very first one, you know, this is really, really interesting. The very first live, uh, today Open Diary live streaming. We're very excited that you join us. But there are other things we're going to do, we're going to be doing. Tomorrow we'll be here by 9:30, and on Monday we'll be here as well. And that will also fizzle down into Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Monday. So it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturdays. We take it that way 4 times in a week, and we're a bit flexible. At some point, we will give sufficient notice to make it to be our 5 days in a week. So, but then again, we're starting off with four, and we look forward to very, very insightful engagement and conversation in the coming days, in the coming weeks, in the coming months, and years to come. So we look forward to those time that we'll be able to even meet in person. I look forward to meeting people in person. I've always been meeting people on the street, at the mall, at the beach, at the harbor, on the train, station, everywhere. Meeting people, having conversation with them, and some people who have given us the opportunity to interview them. We are very grateful that you give us the opportunity to have a conversation with you, share your thoughts with us. We're grateful for those insights that you have brought to this channel. We also have appreciative of those that are subscribing to the channel. Is also a way of encouraging us to do more, and we will keep doing more and more to make the channel to be better. And we will not give in in any way. We will, but we believe that this is one of the ways to go by giving back to the community in which we serve. So thank you so much for joining, for tuning in, and we are grateful. We're thankful for your time, for your engagement. So thank you, guys. We are very grateful. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you.